Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seamless.AI daily training webinar. Appreciate you joining, and we look forward to getting started here in just a few moments. We will be getting started just about 4 or 5 after the hour, so just bear with us for a few minutes as we let everybody filter in here today. This is a daily training webinar, and it's a group training webinar. So we'll have a couple people joining us, and we'd just like to give a few minutes after the hour to let everybody filter in. But while we're doing that, I just wanted to cover a few housekeeping items. So first of all, just a quick introduction to the two of us here who will be leading this webinar here today to take you through the Seamless.AI training. So my name is Jake Phillips. I am the product lead here at Seamless.AI. So I work collaboratively with our customers, with our internal teams to build out the roadmap and to make sure that everything that we're building within Seamless is as best suited for your success as possible. So I love being on these webinars, hearing feedback, hearing the direct questions from our end users, and understanding how we can continue to optimize the platform. We're daily hard at work trying to improve, trying to make things better. And we'll continue to do so. So really excited for some of the things we have coming up here in Q4, which I might allude to here a little bit on this webinar, as well as some of our plans for 2020. But also joining me here today, who's actually going to be actively walking us through the demo, is David Toll. And David Toll is our Director of Customer Success. So David is our really face of the customer. So he's working closely with our support team and our success team and really every one of our customers to ensure that you have as seamless as possible of an onboarding, which a lot of you likely are here for that onboarding experience to understand more about Seamless, but also within our help center, through the support ticketing system that we have to ensure that we're giving you the most possible value out of the platform and also supporting you as best as possible as you continue to learn it and then actively use Seamless. So David's going to be walking us through, giving us some best practices, some tips and tricks, and really gearing this towards how our most successful users have used the platform and have gained success using Seamless and made more sales and increased their pipeline. So really trying to provide not only just the how-tos training, but some tips and tricks for really better leveraging the platform and the nature of our real-time search engine, both in-app as well as the Seamless.AI Chrome extension. So that's who's going to be walking us through the webinar here today. But in addition to that, if you do have any questions, there's one really simple way and the most efficient way to get in contact with us throughout the course of this webinar. So at the bottom of your webinar Zoom screen, you're going to see a Q&A button. If you click that Q&A button, it's going to pop up a text box. And simply, if you have any questions or you want us to go deeper in any area, or we, for whatever reason, may have skipped over something that you're really interested in, type us a question there in that text box, and David will do his best to try to answer that as part of the webinar, and we will then respond to you with a quick text typing there and put in a link to potentially our help center that has a lot of great value and a lot of great data in there to give you a little bit more about what Seamless can do. So use that Q&A button liberally because we want to hear from you. We want to make sure that you get the most out of the next hour that you're going to spend with us and learning how to use Seamless and how to make the most advantage of the platform, the unlimited search engine that you have available. So with that said, looks like we're coming right up around 4 or 5 after the hour. So at this point, I will look to hand it over to my colleague, David Toll. And as I mentioned, David is going to be walking you through the webinar here today and making sure that everyone gets the most out of our time together. So I'm going to be handling the Q&A at this point, and I will go ahead and hand the reins over to David. So David, take it away.
Thank you very, very much, Jake. Really appreciate the intro, and we're really excited to have everybody on for today's training session. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can take us through a couple of different experiences today. We'll go through how to use the application at Seamless.ai. We'll look at our Chrome extension and how to use that. We'll also look at a few personal settings that you can deploy to make sure that Seamless is as tied into your technology stack as possible. So we're excited to touch on all those fronts. Let's see, Jake, I might need you to stop sharing first before I can pull my screen up, if you don't mind. And then we should be good to get rolling. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So I'll get my desktop pulled up here. There you go. So as Jake said, I'm our director of customer success. I work across multiple fronts in the customer success side, including supporting our power users, our enterprise customers, the folks out there who are using large teams to leverage Seamless.AI to drive their lead generation and connect with as many people in their total addressable market as possible. So glad to have you on. As Jake mentioned, I do tend to try to tailor the training sessions to whatever comes through on the Q&A. So please feel free to use that throughout the session to throw out any particular use cases you want to look at, questions you want to make sure we cover. Try to touch on that as we go. We'll make sure to leave some time at the end to cover any questions as well. So a few things that I'll call out before we dive into the demonstration of a real-time search for sales and marketing professionals. In particular, some features that are near and dear to my heart, heading up our customer success and customer support. Mainly, where do you go to get help after this webinar is over, right? We want to make sure that you have continued support and that we are a partner in your success and making sure that this platform is making you successful, making your organization successful, making your team successful. So we want to make sure you have support going forward, as well as a throughput for ideas, questions, feedback, feature requests. There are a couple of ways that you can do that. Right down here at the bottom right hand, if you click on this help icon, that's actually going to pull up a fully searchable version of our customer knowledge center. So I can search for terms like CRM, and that's going to give me access to different user guides, instruction manuals, video content, training, on-demand links between different types of content that's going to help me master using Seamless.AI on any front that I need. And then if I don't find the answer I'm looking for, if I have some additional questions I'd like to ask, some feedback I'd like to provide, just hit the contact us button right down here. Let us know while you're reaching out. Please don't limit it to just technical support. If there's strategic support that you need as well, we do believe in providing as holistic a solution as possible. So if you need help finding more phone numbers, finding more results, finding more emails, tell us. We'd love to partner with you on making sure that your search strategy is effective as possible. Hit send. You can send attachments, videos, data sets you want us to look through, anything and everything that's going to help us drive your success. You can send it over to our customer success team, and if you're on a Seamless.AI unlimited license, you do get priority response. We usually get back to those folks within a couple of hours, but 24 hours, I say about a business day at the absolute latest. Now, if you want to jump into the knowledge base proper from any of these articles, go ahead and click on this little square icon up here in the top right. This could be a good page to bookmark if you're going to be spending a lot of time in Seamless.ai. This is our knowledge center. So from within here, you can identify different learning tracks that you can go through, more on-demand video content. If you're just getting started, you can go through the 101 learning track. If you're ready for some advanced search strategies, you can jump in there. You can view our product roadmap, request additional features, get sales hacks and how you can get to thousands of leads in 60 seconds, among other things. You can also subscribe to our founder and CEO, Brandon Bernanson, his podcast, Sales Secrets from the Top 1%, twice a week. He's sitting down with the absolute rock stars in the sales space to get best practices, scripts, training, pro tips, whatever is happening on the bleeding edge of sales right now. He's bringing that to you and the rest of our audience on a bi-weekly basis. So definitely worth jumping in and subscribing to that too. And then if you want to reference this recording or any of our daily training webinars, all of those are available in the Knowledge Center as well, along with specific on-demand video training for different features and integrations. But you can also access all daily webinars right here. So if there's something on this particular webinar that captures exactly what you're trying to share with your team or your stakeholders or a decision maker in your organization or anybody, you'll be able to reference this recording. We usually have them posted within 24 to 48 hours. All right. In addition to that help widget right there, you'll see this tour icon featured throughout the app pretty prominently. No matter where you are on the app, this tour icon will follow you. You can click on it, and it's going to be specific to whatever page you're on. So from here on the home page, it's going to populate a tour from Jake, our VP of Product, and he'll show us exactly how to use each feature step by step. We'll look at a couple of opportunities to highlight that as we go through using the app here today. Yep, there's Jake right there. All you have to do is click on next, and he's going to walk you through each step. When we release new features, we tend to automatically roll out these product updates. You'll see them populate right there on your screen. I always recommend following them through to the end to make sure you're up to date on everything that we're rolling out to strengthen and enhance the product. You can always exit out if you want to right there. So now that I've got that covered, let's dive into how to use the platform. The one shot across the bow that I always send on any training demo, webinar, anytime we're talking about how to use the platform, whether it's a daily webinar like this, talking to a potential new customer or even one of our oldest customers, one thing I always take a moment to remind us what this actually is. Because if you've been working in sales and marketing for a while, you probably got used to using database style solutions for lead generation. Using a database to acquire your leads was pretty much the only option in the market. And that came with some trade-offs. It meant that you had to have somebody on the other side of that organization manually updating that database, sometimes with a team of 50, 60 people. The database could fall behind as a result, right? You might have someone change jobs and wouldn't be updated in the database for 4 months. Our founder and CEO, Brandon Bernanson, was using database-style solutions when he was selling for companies like Google, IBM, and he had some pretty aggressive goals set for himself. He, like the rest of us, believes that this is the best possible time to be in sales. The technology is there, the data is there to help you connect as quickly as possible with people who actually really need your products and services, and whose lives will be changed by those products and services. So the technology is allowing us to sell through solving, sell through serving in a meaningful way, and also in a way that can help you achieve massive success for yourself, your company, your organization. So Brandon, being a believer in that, wasn't satisfied with what he saw in these database-style solutions, so he would stay up late, get online, and start searching for additional contacts. And he found that when he did that, when he went to company websites, when he went to LinkedIn, when he went to news media, social media, anywhere he could to find the digital footprint of the people that needed his products and services that he was selling, he found the database that he had been given by those companies to sell was missing 80 to 90% of his total addressable market. 80 to 90% of the people were not there, but he was finding them through real-time search. So over time, Brandon figured, look, there's got to be a way I can automate this, right? So he worked with a team of developers in his network to build a prototype that has now become what you see before you. So this product was born out of a need to move beyond database-style solutions and leverage the power of real-time search to automate what Brandon was doing, to automate the process of going through all available data out there on your potential prospects' digital footprints, whether it's on social media, company websites. We'll look at a lot of the sources that we pull together throughout the course of the demo, but to pull all that together in an automated fashion, and then on top of that, leverage the power of artificial intelligence to validate that data and make sure it's as accurate as possible. So by doing so, what you have before you, while you might be tempted to look at it and say, oh, here's their database, I'm going to jump in and use their database. That's not what this is. This is not a database. It's a search engine. I'll say that again. This is not a database. It's a search engine. The reason I repeat that is because it's going to be very easy for us to fall back into the habits that we've built and ingrained in ourselves by working in database-style solutions. That was the only option on the market for the longest time. So we have trained ourselves. We've grilled ourselves. We've disciplined ourselves to behave like we're in a database no matter where we are. So it behooves us, and our most successful customers have done this. They found ways to break out of those database patterns of behavior and embrace the power of real-time search. So throughout the demonstration, we'll make sure to touch on specifically what have they done to move away from database-style behavior, embrace the power of real-time search, and we'll make sure that you know what those power user pro tips are as well, so you can replicate the success of our biggest customers and our most successful customers. So let's jump in and take a look at how this platform works now that we've really made sure to hammer home we're in a search engine, not a database. So to that end, the two search engines that you have available here in the application at Seamless.AI are our contact search and our company search. Two different searches, two different sets of filters. One thing I know people will probably ask is, oh, cool, I see some filters at the company search for industries, employee size, estimated revenue, etc. I want to find people using those parameters. We will cover how you can do that. Right? So I just want to make sure I call that out. These are two different searches. There are some ways to use them together, but the real power to be able to target different types of search parameters and different strategies that you can deploy lies in our Chrome extension. So we will get there. For now, I'm going to demonstrate the Find Contact search engine and make sure we touch on that. So let's take a look at these different fields we have in place for contact search. We've got company, title, keyword, and name. All pretty straightforward, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can use each one in the same way that our most successful power users have, so you can replicate their success. And to demonstrate it as well, I'm going to go ahead and start filling out a company. Let's say I'm going to look for Nike, and you'll see the drop-down populate here. We always recommend making sure you pick from within that assigned pick list to make sure that you have as accurate company matching as possible when it comes to your contacts. And then title. This is where you're going to see some of these first instances of Power User Pro Tips. So you can enter multiple titles at the same time. Now you'll see I've entered in here, of course I'm entering in CEO. I mean, I'd love to talk to CEOs of Nike across their different verticals and different parts of the organization. Talk about a decision maker, right? But I'm also looking for VP and I'm also looking for director. Now, this is one of the things that our most successful customers have done to pivot away from database behavior into real-time search behavior. If I'm working out of a database, then I probably am going to limit myself to the C-suite. I'm probably not going to search for directors. I'm not going to search for managers because I'm probably paying a premium to get to the contact information of a CEO. And I need to be cost conscious. I'm paying per contact. I'm paying per search. I'm paying my way up the organizational ladder. That's not how our system works. We've democratized the data so that if you're on a Seamless.AI unlimited license, all contacts are created equal. And you can search for as many of them as you can using this platform right here. And this makes why wouldn't you include director, VP, manager? Why wouldn't you do what our most successful customers have done and cast a wide net? Our most successful customers have used search, real-time search, to cast a wide net across a variety of titles and build as many relationships as possible because you're not nickel and diming your way up the organizational ladder. It behooves you to include some managers, some directors, etc. They may even be decision makers themselves. You can even cast a wider net by using the keyword filter right here. So in the keyword filter, I can even go beyond what's explicitly in someone's title, and I can look for words that are indicated in other aspects of their digital footprint. So if I look for marketing, that's going to pull in contacts beyond people who have marketing explicitly listed as their title, but if they're involved in marketing in some way, if there's indications that they're involved in marketing in their bio or that they're tangential to that, and I want to find people who are influencers in marketing or relevant to that, that's the way that I can even cast a broader net than before and bring in some of those contacts as well. And then name. If you have a direct name that you want to look up at a company, that's certainly something you can do. One way that our power users leverage this part of the contact search, they will provide licenses to their team members who are not just dedicated to lead generation or inbound, outbound, or BDRs, AEs, etc. They'll provide a license to their floor show team, the folks who are regularly getting on the road, going to conferences, working a booth at a floor, getting names thrown at them from across a table. Instead of relying on old business cards or making sure that you remember all of this, they'll actually give a license to those people, those teams, that they can use on the ground and use that to validate and store all of the contacts that they meet at those conferences using Seamless.AI. Not just to save them and keep them organized, but to validate their contact information along the way. So if you have a team that's currently performing in a function like that, they're going on the road, they're going out in person, consider getting them a license. At the very least, add them as a free user so they can experiment with this and see what kind of value they get. And then it's probably worth adding them to an unlimited license as well to make sure they get the full scope of being able to add, save, and validate all those contacts. So a couple of ways that you can leverage these in the same way that our most successful customers have. Let's go ahead and hit search, and we'll demonstrate the next steps in the process. All right, so now I've hit search on these parameters. Seamless is pulling in potential contacts. So I know right off the bat what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to hit find on all of these, right? You want that data. You want those phone numbers. You want those email addresses. Totally understand. And as you can probably assume, when you hit find, that's going to save that contact data so you can push it into the next stage of your processes, whatever call campaign you have set up, whatever email campaign you have set up. We will touch on the best ways to integrate that into your next steps, whether it's through a CRM import directly or downloading into a CSV. We will get there. The one thing I'm going to ask you to do first before you hit find on any of these contacts is come right up here to set default list. If you're new to Seamless, that's what this icon's going to say. But if I click on it, over time, I can create and save lead lists that I can use to keep my data organized. So I'm calling this out now. My recommendation, our most successful users, every single time they're saving contacts, they're saving them to a list. It'll become more apparent why that's useful as we start to look at how to export this data and how to import it into your CRM and how to filter it from within my contacts. So I'm going to go ahead. I already have a list set up for Nike, so I'm going to select that as my default, Nike decision makers. Okay, and now I can start to find these contacts, and when I do, they're automatically going to be saved to that list. Now, I could go ahead and dink and dunk my way down this list and hit find one at a time. If there are specific contacts you're looking for, that's definitely something you can do. You can find them one at a time if you want. Power users, they use the find all button. So when I hit find all, that's going to find everybody on this page. It's not going to find everybody in the search, because every time I hit this next button right here at the bottom, I'm going to a new page. We're running the search again in real time so that I can hit find all again and bring those contacts into play. So if you finding yourself hitting the next and find all button in rapid succession, you are doing something right. You are behaving like a power user when you do that. And I'm going to hop into my contacts to demonstrate to us that as I save these contacts, they're all automatically being saved to that Nike DMs list. All right, so as this contact data is coming in, you can see it all starting to populate as it's getting researched. Let's take a second to look at what exactly we're pulling in here, what sources we're using to deliver this data, and how we're validating it for you well. So anytime you have questions about, hey, what's beneath all this data? Why should I have confidence in these phone numbers or these email addresses? Go ahead and click on any of the contact data that's in here and already saved, and you can get more information on where it's coming from and how our multi-step AI validation process works. Just like I mentioned earlier, this is one of those places where you can click on the guided tour button, and Jake will walk you through step by step what each one of these steps indicates and what we're doing. You can also hover over each one of them if you want to learn more as well. But as you can see, we're providing the top phone numbers here. If you want to view more, you can. We'll provide you with all of the data we found, but we'll also make sure to tell you, hey, this is where you should start. This is the company phone number to start from. This is the contact phone number to start from. Here's the complete AI score behind it. On the off chance that you do call this number, it doesn't work out, you can downvote this data. You can be part of the process that helps us understand what's the most relevant data out there and continue to improve our process. On the email front, we're even sending an email to the server at Nike.com to validate that email address and see what kind of response we get from the server when we say, hey, is phil.hodgson at Nike.com a real email address? And Nike is telling us through that virtual ping, that virtual email, yes, it's a valid email, so we're going to recommend that. You can see some invalid responses here as well, and we've got a ton more that we find through real-time search, but that's why we run that validation as well, to make sure that you're reaching out to the best possible contact data available. So this is always available to you if you want to learn more on that front, and as more of these come in, you can see them start to save, indicated as a company phone, contact, or a direct phone, etc. So let's take a look at a couple of other features here in my contacts. If you go over one more column, in the Intel column here, so pretty intuitive in some regard. You can tell that you can pop out to their LinkedIn profile, Twitter, Facebook, etc. We'll touch on our Salesforce integration here in a minute, so you can see exactly what it's like when you import a contact over to Salesforce, and we'll touch on how to do that automatically soon too. But first, I want to take a look at the contact intelligence icon up here at the front. This is one of our secret weapons. One of these features that more customers could probably make more use of on a couple of different fronts. It's also a good place to go if you're wondering, where are you guys getting all this information? What are your sources? Any publicly available data that we can pull together to tell you who is Carl, what's the best way to contact him, and then validating that using that multi-step AI process. In addition to that, we pull all of these data sources together so that you can build your pitch intelligently. And anybody on your team, whether it's that first point of contact or the account executive is going to try to go out there and close the deal, this is a great resource for them to jump in and figure out, who's Carl? What does he value? What's he been doing? Where else has he worked? What's he posting about? What's his life like? And then at the company level, what's the current financial status of Nike? What kind of paid search keyword intelligence can I find? What are employee reviews looking like? What's the website rater looking like? What's the Alexa score? Advertising intelligence, social media posts. Pulling together a wealth of information on the contact and on the account so you can do your homework quickly and personalize your pitch intelligently and give Carl that extra effort to demonstrate to him, I know who you are. I have a solution that's going to change your life and make it better. You should talk to me. Make sure you get his attention, right? In a genuine, authentic way. He's going to respond to that. All contacts are. So a good, valuable feature to stop and check on, a good resource for your team if they're looking to personalize their pitch. When we get to our CRM import and how to set it up and how to map data into your CRM, I want you to remember some of these fields right here, because we'll touch on how you can get that into your CRM too. Heading back into my contacts. One last feature we'll look at, this is a recent release. This is the first iteration of our recommendation engine. So we now have a feature in place where as you're searching, and you come in here to search every single day, every single week, you walk away, get a cup of coffee, go to lunch, Seamless.AI is going to keep searching on your behalf in the background based on your previous search history to bring in more contacts that should be a good fit. So already right off the bat, I'm seeing more Nike contacts. I was looking for a few folks in some different industries earlier as part of some testing, so I've got some contact data here. All I have to do is come over here and hit save, and it's going to add that contact to my contacts. We are going to, and you can hit save all as well if you just want to mass import all of these guys, right? We're going to add some more enhancements to this this section of your account. In particular, we're going to look for some ways to help you set up your own suggestion parameters to tell us, not just so we're intuiting it based on your search history, but for you to explicitly say, these are the types of contacts I want you to find in the background when I'm not searching myself. So more to come on this front. We're excited to get this first iteration out there so we can start working for you in the background and get that quantity of lead data up to help you fill your pipeline in a meaningful way. Okay, so heading back into my contacts here. One quick thing I'll call out before we jump into the CRM import. If I go down here, you're going to see a total, right, showing 1 through 15 of about 5,000 total contacts. I see people ask this question sometime and they say, why don't I see a total down here? Well, it's because we're running that search every time we hit the next button, right? We're rerunning it. Once you get into my contacts, that's when you can start to see totals. So one thing I wanted to call out there to make sure that's clear, because we do get that question sometime. Now, once I'm in my contacts, there are some other things that I can do to filter this data to prepare to either import it into my CRM or download it into an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to save import here. Let's talk about downloading into a spreadsheet first, because that's going to help us display what some of these different filters can do, and then they'll also be relevant to how you import data into your CRM. That'll also help us transition from looking at how to import into your CRM directly into those particular settings. So let's assume that you're going to export this into an Excel. I can download all of my data right now, all 5,377 contacts, and then I can slice and dice it within Excel. However, we do provide some tools here within your account that can make your life a little bit easier before you hit download. One question that I'm sure I'm going to get, and I'm going to throw it out there before anybody asks it, David, what's the difference between clean and raw on the data download? We do get that question sometimes, and we have some information on that in our Knowledge Management Center as well. Basically, the raw file is going to include all of the information that we found using real-time search. Like I said, you can find that documentation right here. But when we were looking at this email, right, we found tons of phone numbers, tons of email addresses that were potentially could be in use, right? If you want all of these, you can download the raw data file and it'll give it to you. Most of our customers just use the clean version. The clean version is going to give you top 3 phone numbers, top 3 email addresses. It's still going to give you more data than you probably need, if I'm being perfectly honest. And we do have on our product roadmap some features in play that will help you, perform even more specificity on how you want this data to download, what specific columns you want, what specific data points you want. But for now, we provide the clean file to make it easier. But if you're a really dedicated data hound and you want to go through every single one of those phone numbers, every single one of those emails, if you've got some additional validation tools on your end, maybe something, we make the data available to you, all of it. So up to you, but most customers use the clean download right there. But like I said, you don't have to just download the entire list. You can use these filters to selectively download what you need for a particular campaign. That is why I focus so heavily on that default list right from the get-go. So now, because I've automatically saved all of these leads to my Nike DMs list, I can click this filter icon up here next to list, select Nike DMs, and once I do, I can apply that, and now I'm only looking at those contacts. I can scroll down here to my total and verify. I'm only looking at 32. So I might decide I want to go further than 32. That's not enough for me. I need more contacts in order to hit the right ratio as far as what kind of campaign I'm delivering on. But I might say I'm good to go. I might also want to filter by some additional parameters. Maybe I only want to see validated emails, right? So if any of these had an invalid email, an invalid response from the server when we sent out that virtual email to Nike.com, I can select this to exclude those. I can also choose to only look at contacts for whom we tracked a contact phone, right? So if I select this, I'm not going to get Kimberly on that download because we only found a company phone for her. If I only want contact phones, then that's the only place I want to spend my time. I can filter by contact phone, and all of a sudden now, great. I've got a couple of filters applied, and when I go to download, I'm going to see the option to download filtered. So if you just want to download a specific list, you can also download multiple lists, or if you just want to download specific types of contact data, all these filters are here to help you. Now, that goes the same way for our CRM imports. So I currently have our Salesforce integration installed. We also have direct integrations built out for HubSpot and Outreach.io. We are working on more integrations as we head into Q4. We have dedicated resources on our development team who are focusing on integrations so we can tie into as much of your technology stack as possible. We're looking at CRMs like Pipedrive, Zoho. We're looking at dialers like SalesLoft and Mojo. Really anything and everything that sales and marketing professionals use, we want to find a way to tie into it. But for now, let's demonstrate how the Salesforce integration works, and that's going to give you a way to map out any of the other integrations we build out. We have found a repeatable process that we're going to build out across different products. So we'll look at Salesforce, but it's going to be effectively the same experience if you're a HubSpot and Outreach customer or any of the other solutions that we will eventually integrate with. So if I have the integration installed, all I have to do to add this contact to Salesforce is click on the cloud icon, and it's going to automatically add to my Salesforce account, unless I already have it there. Duplication checking is part of our CRM integration process to make sure you're not inflating your contact count in your CRM, but instead, we're giving you the opportunity to enrich the data as you go. So let's take a look at our CRM settings so we can take a deeper dive into how the CRM integration process works. We do get a lot of questions about that. We provide you with a lot of options to personalize that experience, make sure you're mapping over the data that you need, and make sure that you're enriching the data that you already have in your CRM to prevent data decay. Your general settings give you a quick opportunity to make sure you have your complete setup done and taken care of. This take a quick tour button is actually going to populate you right back into the knowledge base, into that 101 learning track that we looked at earlier. Add to Google Chrome, our Chrome extension. This will take you to the Chrome extension store where you can add our Google Chrome extension. If you don't already have our Chrome extension downloaded, don't wait for this webinar to be over. Go download it right now. It is by far our most popular feature. Our customers love it. They have used it in all kinds of new and exciting ways. And we actually just released a beta version that makes it even more powerful and gives you the opportunity to search not just from LinkedIn, but from company websites, from within your CRM. We'll take a little bit of a look at that towards the end of the demo. But make sure you have that downloaded. Do not miss out on that. And then finally, add to CRM. So this is where you can perform a one-click integration with any of these technology products. All it's going to do is when you click, it's going to populate a window, ask for your credentials to that CRM. Mine are already saved, so it should already automatically populate for me. But all you're going to have to do is provide your login, and everything's going to be connected from there. Once that's done, I can head over into CRM Setup right over under here underneath Settings. All right, perfect. It's added. And from here, I can personalize how I want this data flow to work. We have a number of organizational and personal settings that you can perform. If you're part of a team and you got multiple folks at your organization using Seamless.AI, we do recommend only using the org settings. The personal settings are there as an option, but by and large, it just generally makes a lot more sense to have everybody using the platform and integrating the data into your CRM in a uniform way. Just going to give you the best possible data integrity. So unless you really have a specific use case that requires personal settings, we recommend using the org settings, but the personal settings are available if you have some unique use cases that require that. You can elect whether you want it to import as a lead or a contact. You can set the name of the lead source. And here you can decide whether or not you want these contacts to automatically import. So you saw I didn't have that on before, right? So I could demonstrate that cloud click. But once you get up and running, and once you have your mapping in place, this is another one of those power user pro tips. Whatever CRM you're using that we recommend deploying, get your mappings in place, get confidence in how your data is being exported, and then set up that automated import, because it's going to give you a huge efficiency gain, especially if you're using the Chrome extension, and especially if you have other integrations tied into Salesforce. If you have outreach email campaigns firing out of Salesforce, if you have SalesLoft dialer campaigns firing out of Salesforce, you could be working out of Seamless, save a contact, have it automatically go to Salesforce, and then automatically fire into your call campaign, and have a huge efficiency gain by running that lead data all the way through to the end without having to manually figure out where it's all going to go. So that automatic import can be tremendously powerful. Override existing company and contact data with seamless data. This is also a great way to enrich your data, prevent data decay. All the literature out there demonstrates that industry-wide, cross-industry, organizations are seeing their data decay at a rate of about 12% per week, which is extraordinarily high. We have real-time search data, right? So you can elect to override existing data that you're mapping into your CRM. We'll take a look at that in a second to make sure you're enriching your data and mitigating that data decay. There are some other features you can look at here. If you don't want it to import without a validated email, you can automatically set it on that front. But the real place where you can get creative is down here in the mapping. This is where you can elect what data you want to send into your CRM. Some of these will come out of the box as soon as you perform that one-click integration. We'll make sure company, email, first name, etc., are all being sent over. But if you want to get some of those paid search intelligence, all that that contact intelligence data that we looked at before, remember back in my contacts, you can send that over. LinkedIn profile URL, local sports teams, weather, paid search intelligence. As long as you have a corresponding field in Salesforce, once you perform that one-click integration, we can provide you with access and visibility to all of the fields that you can map that data over. So these options automatically populate as soon as you perform that integration. So you can head down here, add new mappings, map over as much data as you want. We'll even let you know if there is validation in place to make you aware of anything that could be worth considering as you're looking at what's here in Seamless, what am I sending over, etc., to provide as clean a process as possible. All right, I'm going to take a quick breath here because that covers the CRM settings. We'll take a look at a few more settings in a minute, and then we'll take a look at how to use the Chrome extension within LinkedIn and across companies as well. I do see a question here. Is there a way to filter searches by contacts you have not already found? I use a specific search criteria, and I ran into people who were already downloaded in my lists. This is a great question, and we do have something on our product roadmap I'm going to go ahead and save those settings to help make it easier for you to move through. Like, so if I were to, I'm going to run a search here real quick to show you what that person's running into, because I know exactly what that is. If I search for contacts at Salesforce, I'm probably going to pull up some contacts that I already have saved. I'm going to run search, and we will let you know if you already have that contact in your account. We are working on a feature that would help you toggle whether or not you want to see these in future searches. That's something we do have on our product roadmap. In the meantime, the deduplication process that is in place when you're integrating directly into a CRM, that's one way to work through that, so that even as these appear and as I'm hitting find all, I'm not researching these and I'm not re-adding them to my CRM. That's only happening if it's a new contact or if there's new data that I can enrich. So I hope that helps answer that question. Long term, yes, we are looking for a way for you to be able to toggle this on and off. We'll also take a look at how this plays into using the Chrome extension and the current experience when you're off-site, you're outside of Seamless.AI using the Chrome extension to search. What does it look like when I find contacts that I've already added? So that's a great question right there. Okay, I'm going to take a look at a few more settings that you can calibrate here, and then we're going to look at the Chrome extension with this last 20 minutes that we have. So the rest of the settings that I have in place, once I get the CRM set up, there are other apps that I can connect. As we work on adding more integrations, we do want to make sure that you have a way to automate data flow between Seamless and the rest of your technology stack, which is why we're a part of Zapier's ecosystem. So if you're not familiar with Zapier, they're a great technology product, and really we're just part of their ecosystem. Like we found that a lot of customers have benefited from this. We're not getting any kickback for recommending it, but we use it ourselves. Zapier is great. Basically, they have built bridges between every technology product imaginable and given you choose your own adventure style ways to automate data flow. So if you want, say, a notification to fire to a particular Slack channel every time you save a contact to Seamless, Zapier can do that for you. If you want them to be added to a population of customers, a segment in MailChimp, Zapier can do that. If you want to send them an email, if you want your prospect to get an email every single time you save them to Seamless.AI, every new contact you save, you can set up a Zap. That's what Zapier calls the automations. You can set up a Zap that will automatically fire a Gmail canned response to every single new contact that you save in Seamless.ai. And look at this. There are thousands of apps that you can tie in. So if your favorite technology product isn't listed here yet, don't worry. We want it to be. We want to work on it. Shoot us a line. Make sure it's on our radar. Tell us that you want to integrate, right? But in the meantime, make sure you're using Zapier. Tons of opportunities to automate data and get efficiency gains from that. As far as the rest of your setup, a couple of features we'll call attention to. One is your income calculator. This is also a relatively new feature. We wanted to give you a way to measure your own success, set your own salary, and then we can automatically tell you with a couple of other inputs, how many leads do you need to save every day, every week, every month in order to get to where you want to be, in order to get to the life that you want, in order to the job that you want, the car that you want, the house that you want, the lake that you want, the pet that you want. Maybe you have really expensive taste in pets. I don't know. Whatever it is, we want you to set your own goals and be in command of your own success. This is not built out to be a system of record for like a VP of finance or anything. This is designed for everybody on the front lines in sales to create opportunities to hold yourself accountable. So as you adjust these inputs based on what your average sales commission is, for example, what your overall yearly goals are, that's going to automatically update what you need to hit up here on the leaderboard every single day. So all we need is tell us what you want to hit at the end of the year as far as commission, give us your average commission, what's your lead booked appointment conversion rate, and then your closed won sales conversion rate, and then we can automatically tell you what you need to hit. You can even 10x, 5x, 3x the goals. We recommend doing this as well, even though I'm not doing it here. Like right now, I'm probably saying like, oh, I'm probably doing pretty good, 121. I'm on my way to finishing my goal. If I 10x that, it's going to automatically push me to go further and say, no, David, if you really want to achieve the most that you can accomplish, then you can go beyond that. Come on, you're not going to settle for 1x, are you? You're going to go for that 5x. You're going to go for that 10x. So it's a great way to make sure you're providing that extra oomph for yourself to stay accountable and stay in here, come back into the product every single day. From our end, selfishly, what does this do for us? It creates a higher level of accountability. We want people using the product every day, right? We want Seamless to be an essential part of your business. We want to be a necessary partner of your success. This just gives you a way to set those parameters for us. So instead of us tracking usage and guessing how often you should be using the product, we want you to tell us how often you should be using the product. And then we can help drive accountability from there. And then too, we have the goal tracking in place so that you can track where you are as far as progress. We'll provide pro tips along the way on what else you can do to get closer to achieving your goals. It'll directly link you out into our knowledge management center, kind of like a credit score app, right? It doesn't just show you your score. It shows you what else you can do to raise your score. And then you'll also be able to see where you are as far as our global population of users in terms of lead generation. And you can also track your booked appointments and sales. To do that, all you have to do is come up here to the little gong. So anytime you book a meeting, anytime you close a big deal, come on up here and give the gong a tap by clicking your mouse. And you're going to get a little gong sound. It's going to make it rain. You're going to get, it's all fun, right? But it's going to be a way for you to share your success both within the app and also get that social proof out there. So you can let us know how much business you closed and then share that. And you get the notification pop up right down here, right? David just closed the deal. And you can share that on social media as well. Get the social proof of your product out there. If you have an affiliate link set up, then that social share also automatically shares your affiliate link. The affiliate link gives you an opportunity to spread the news about Seamless.ai to your network and earn commission along the way for new folks that you sign up on unlimited licenses. So if you're interested in doing that, if you would find value in advocating for the product and you want to share that success and evangelize it, you might as well earn back a little bit at the same time. All you have to do is come in here, activate your link, and then find ways to share it. We provide affiliate promo materials and pretty much anything you would need to get out there and market it to. But that social share from within goal tracking automates that process as well. We're also working on a version of this that we want to get rolled out probably in the next couple of weeks that will help you track these stats at an organizational or team level. So
yeah,
we
and David actually,
oh yeah, Jake, go ahead. You probably go deeper than I can on that.
yeah, some
You
some
manage
good
our product
news.
roadmap.
Some good news on that is, David mentioned the next few weeks, actually the next few days. So this is actively
You guys always
in,
pull this on me.
in
You always pull
testing.
this. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm actually looking at our dev environment right now. This is actively in testing right
Oh, it's
now. So
beautiful.
this will be live likely by Thursday morning, barring any major issues we have in QA, which are unforeseen at the moment. But essentially what we're going to do is, in this right white space over here to the right of the leaderboard, just below that learn more button, you're going to have a toggle to allow you to toggle between global and team. So if you have a team of 5 or 10 who's all joined you in using Seamless and you have multiple licenses, you can set this to do a team view. So now your team can not only keep up with the global community of Seamless, but they can focus specifically on driving some of that competition inside of your own team, because we know that really drives our team when you can build that healthy camaraderie and healthy competition internally. So we've allowed you to do that within the Seamless.AI platform, and also to give the leadership and the operations leads and things like that a little bit of a sense of who's really excelling within Seamless and who might need a little tap on the shoulder to go out there and grab a few more leads for the day or the week. So yeah, that's just wanted to give that little update and mention that is soon to be here. So good news on that front.
That's awesome news, Jake. Thank you for that additional context. Yeah, guys, I mean, keeping up on our product roadmap is a really good idea. You can do that from within the knowledge base. You can submit requests. Anything we've done to enhance and improve the product has come from users telling us once we roll it out, hey, I really like that. Here's what I think you should do next. So that team view came explicitly from feedback, particularly from our power users, to say, I love this. I want to be able to view what my team is doing. So please, 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 always send us those recommendations and feature requests, because you can see that our development team is actively looking to incorporate that feedback into how we develop and iterate these products. That's awesome, Jake. All right, guys, I'm going to jump into the Chrome extension while we're finishing up today to make sure we take a look at that. We may have a chance to take a sneak peek at a beta product that just rolled out on the Chrome extension front as well. So I'm going to jump ahead to how the Chrome extension looks in some of LinkedIn's products. Both LinkedIn Standard and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So if you're a Sales Navigator customer, you have a wealth of filters that you can use here in order to narrow down your search, not just by the filters that you saw here within the app, but by all of the filters that are available and are at LinkedIn's disposal. Unlike us, LinkedIn is a database, effectively, right? We've given them a ton of information about our professional lives. They're able to automate a lot of that themselves and slice it up into consumable formats. So, like I said, we do have some ways that you can use this company search and this contact search in conjunction with each other to track named accounts by some of these filters. But most of our customers who are looking for, say, contacts that are in a particular industry, like architecture, or in a particular place, like California, they're using the Chrome extension to do that, either from within Sales Navigator, if they're a customer there, or even just within LinkedIn Standard. Because you do have plenty of filters available, even in the standard search that allow you to do this. So what that looks like, once I have my search set up, if I have the Chrome extension installed, these default lists and the Find All and Find buttons are all going to be available to me overlaid onto LinkedIn. And I can click Find All, and I'm not touching anything. That's just a lazy scroll down the screen and populating back up. And then those contacts are automatically being imported back into Seamless.ai. So Sales Navigator, the reason we highlight this webinars, even though Sales Navigator comes at an additional cost and you got to pay, LinkedIn a monthly rate to have access to it. And again, we have a great relationship with LinkedIn. We actually have some customers there who use our tool, and we use a lot of their products as well. We're LinkedIn power users for sure, but we're not a direct partner or anything else that they have. We're just showing you how our most successful customers have used this. they have told us, wow, I tried your Chrome extension on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I had never tried Sales Navigator before, but I signed up for a 30-day free trial. And wow, I was able to accomplish so much using the filters in this particular tool and the Chrome extension that allows me to find contacts quickly. So we want to show you how it works. So these filters give me a ton of ways to narrow down exactly who I'm looking for. And then when I find all, I actually have more contacts per page than I do in the standard search. And you have access to more connections. The standard search is only going to give you access to maybe second or third connections. Sales Navigator gives you access to everybody. And then once I hit find all, that scrolls down. All those contacts are automatically being saved back here into Seamless.AI. Give that a second to load here. Might be my computer actually, so I'm gonna hop back into Sales Navigator. And then when I hit next again, I'm gonna be given a new page to run through. I can hit find all on that page and automatically save all of those contacts as well. And again, I'm not touching anything here. This is just rolling down the page, making sure that each one of those is found and ported back. So we're also performing the same validation that we did before. When you search natively in the app, we're sending an email to the server, or a virtual email to the servers to see what response we get back. Whenever you see this accept all, that means that we didn't get a firm valid or invalid back. So it's not invalid, but we didn't get a firm confirmation that it's valid either. So we give you that information. We send that data to you so you can make decisions accordingly, along with a total AI score that'll help you evaluate what do I want to do with this contact data. We have some material in our knowledge management system that can help guide you in the right direction and a couple of different use cases on how our customers use it. At a high level, most of our customers will treat this more or less as a valid email to, again, cast a wide net and know that there's going to be a certain bounce rate that they can account for and plan for with some of these accept all emails. But that is a distinction that we make as part of our data validation process. And we're transparent about that information with you so you can decide how you want to shape your strategy accordingly. A couple of other pro tips within Sales Navigator. So you can see that same power user behavior can be evidenced, right? You can hit next, find all, and keep on rolling. You will see if these contacts have already been added, that'll be indicated as such. And then up here under total results. Now, we use Sales Navigator and our Chrome extension to build our own lead lists, just to put our cards on the table, right? That's what we do to build sales and marketing campaigns at scale for ourselves and for our customers if they are sourcing us for that type of work. What we have found is that when we are building large lists like this, if I try to search all 8,000 of these contacts, I have no guarantee that LinkedIn is going to let me search all of those in one day. They will have some kind of throttling in place or page view limits that'll stop me at some point. Now, that's not set in stone. There's nothing we can tell you that's officially like, here's where it will stop. What we have found and what we recommend doing is setting it at around 1,000. We try to limit our searches to about 1,000 per day so that we're not stopped halfway through this search in the middle of page 7 and finding ourselves wondering, wait a second, where did I leave off? Well, yeah, I got to come back tomorrow and pick back up, but where did I stop with, right? So we recommend using the other filters in place on Sales Navigator to get yourself down to about 1,000. So I can use company headcount, for instance, to do that. Maybe I can use 11 to 50. And that's going to give me a list at about 1,000. And then I can save a particular default list that's indicated as California, architect, headcount 11 to 50. And then I can find all of those contacts, make sure that I have that list done, and then I can move on to the next set of parameters. So trying to limit yourself to about 1,000 searches per day in LinkedIn, whether you're in Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Standard, is going to be a good idea. And again, that power user behavior is find all. If you're hitting find all and next in rapid succession, you're doing something right. You're acting like a power user. For anybody out there who's asking, but David, I don't want to hit next. That's annoying. Hey, I get it. That makes, anytime I'm doing anything that feels manual, I wish I could automate it. But we want to make sure their account stays in the good graces of LinkedIn and its terms of service. We have seen other apps that have tried to skip that part of the process and help you move from page to page in an automated fashion. That gets them in trouble with LinkedIn. We want to make sure that we're good partners and that we're helping you stay within their terms of service. So that's one of the reasons why we require you to go from page to page manually like that. But you can still move so quickly through these lists. And you're getting data that's being validated in real time. So if Don just joined this company, you're not going to get that information in the database if he joined a company 3 days ago, right? That's another reason why we recommend only searching for about 1,000 contacts at a time. this isn't the kind of platform where you want to come in and search 50,000 contacts in one day anyway, because that data is going to decay. It's going to expire. Their information is going to change. You come in here tomorrow, you might get different information from Greg than you did today, right? So making sure you're biting it off in consumable chunks that you can work through in real time as well. That is another one of those power user pro tips. In a database, maybe you were trying to get to all 60,000 contacts at once and you just like rip and run. But using real-time search, make sure you're pacing yourself and taking as much advantage as possible of the real-time nature of this data and not letting yourself fall behind. Some other features in Sales Navigator, if you use lead lists, the Chrome extension layers over that experience as well. We also can get you access to the Chrome extension if you're a LinkedIn Recruiter customer. That's available there too. One of the reasons some of our customers use lead lists outside of just using search, if you save these contacts to a lead list and then find them using Seamless.AI, you'll get notifications about all of these potential leads through Sales Navigator. So you get the best of both worlds. You get all the benefits of Sales Navigator and its product, plus the ability to find all of these contacts using Seamless.ai. One more thing I'll show you because we got a few more minutes here. I want to take us a quick look at the beta version of the Chrome extension we just rolled out. So if I have it installed, I want to see this icon up here at the top of my screen. I'm going to click on that here on Zapier. And what that's going to do is populate a flyout on the company website that I can use to search contacts at Zapier or any domain. You can use this on any company website. I can even filter so that if I want to look for particular types of contacts, maybe I want to use that marketing keyword, but again, we'll cast a wide net because I'm not just looking for marketing in the title. I'm looking for anything in the digital footprint that tells me they're in marketing for Zapier. I can use that to filter, find those contacts. I think I should be able to set a default list from here too. Yep, just like we talked about. So I can even create one from directly within the Chrome extension. Get that set up. I have that in place, and then when I hit find all, it's going to find all those contacts, get it back into my Seamless account. So we want to give you as many ways as possible to search, as many options as we can deliver, so that you can keep searching across different data sets. Search out of company websites, search out of LinkedIn and its suite of products. This will also populate directly from within your CRM. If you're on a Salesforce account page, it'll populate there too. Still in beta, so tell us what you see. We wanted to get it rolled out. We've actually been testing it for a couple of months now, so it's ready to go. We want to hear from you what kind of experience you're having. And as you can see, I automatically have that Salesforce import turned on now, so I can be on Zapier's website, searching contacts from Zapier, automatically have all of that data populate directly into my Salesforce. When I click on that, I think my load time, here we go. Now I'm starting to see that lead come through. Right, so anytime you click on that, you'll get a real-time view of what's happening there. So tons of ways you can search, tons of ways that you can automate your data flow from Seamless into the rest of your tech stack, different ways you can track your progress. There's no reason that this shouldn't be your biggest and best quarter yet. That's really what we're trying to achieve for you. We want to put you in position to get to the life you want, the success you want, the business you want, the goals you've set for your team. We think there's no better time ever to be in sales. So all of these features, all of this ability to search, all of these different places from which you can search, it's all keyed around helping you connect with the people who need your products and services. They're out there, and they are telling you in their digital footprint that they need you. You just have to use technology like Seamless to connect with them and deliver your message effectively. So we are really grateful to everybody who attended today's webinar. Thank you. Thank you for your questions to help to shape and make sure that this was tailored to your experience and your needs. We're really proud to be a part of your success. Thank you for partnering with us so that we can help drive results for you and your team, supercharge your pipeline, and help this be your biggest and best year yet, and then help 2020 be your biggest and best year yet. So we'll let you go so you can get back to searching and drive through the rest of the week and make sure you're building pipeline for the rest of Q4. We know that for a lot of our customers, Q4 can be tough depending on seasonality. For some folks, it's their busiest time of the year, but I know that for the majority of our customers, Q4 is when you're heading into the holidays, and a lot of your customers and prospects are distracted and hard to get a hold of, and they're doing their own budget for next year, and it's hard to get their ear. That makes it more important than ever to, one, build pipeline, make sure you're coming in here every single day to save lead data that will supercharge your pipeline for Q4 and beyond as you head into Q1 of those customers start to wake up. This is the time to build that pipeline. Your pipeline is your diet. It's your nutrition. It's your daily exercise. Do not neglect it. Come in here every day and make sure that it's full. And then two, every contact you get, every meeting you get, every deal you can book, and if Q4 is normally a little drier for you or a little lighter for you, then every single opportunity is precious. Make sure you're taking advantage of it. So we're really happy that you have all these tools at your disposal. We hope this was helpful. As you need us in the future, please reach out. Anything we can do to help supercharge your success and get you into a wildly successful Q4, we want to know. So thank you all for attending. We're glad to be partnering with you on growing your business, and we wish you success. We're looking forward to making this your biggest and best year yet, everybody. Take care, folks.